Unveiling the nuts and bolts of English idioms. Hello, dear learners. Today, we're diving into a fascinating English idiom that often puzzles non-native speakers: the nuts and bolts. This phrase is a colorful part of the English language, and understanding it can add a new layer to your communication skills. So, let's get started and explore what this idiom really means and how you can use it in everyday conversation. At first glance, the nuts and bolts might make you think of hardware tools, but in the context of the English language, it's used metaphorically. This idiom refers to the most basic, practical aspects of a subject or activity. It's about the foundational elements or details that are necessary for something to function or be understood. For example, when someone says they're learning the nuts and bolts of cooking, they mean they're focusing on the basic cooking techniques and recipes, the essential skills you need to cook well. The phrase, the nuts and bolts, likely comes from the literal hardware nuts and bolts, which are fundamental parts of machinery and construction projects. Without them, most machines or structures wouldn't hold together. This idiom has been adopted in English to symbolize the indispensable elements of various concepts or operations, emphasizing the importance of understanding these basics to grasp the bigger picture. To help you better understand how to use this idiom, let's look at some examples. In a work context, during the training, we'll cover the nuts and bolts of project management. In education, this course will teach you the nuts and bolts of English grammar. Personal learning, I'm reading a book on the nuts and bolts of digital photography. By using this phrase, you can express a focus on fundamental aspects or basics in a variety of situations. There are other idioms in English that convey a similar meaning to the nuts and bolts. Phrases like the basics, the nitty-gritty, and the brass tacks all refer to the essential elements or details of something. However, the nuts and bolts is particularly useful when you want to emphasize the practical, operational aspects of a subject. Understanding idioms like the nuts and bolts enriches your English vocabulary and makes your communication more vibrant. It's a handy phrase for emphasizing the importance of basics in any field or activity. We hope this video has clarified the meaning and use of this idiom for you. Keep practicing, and don't forget to focus on the nuts and bolts of English learning to build a strong foundation in the language. Happy learning, and see you in our next video.